guys, Brian Stevens here with Mortgage Shots. Listen, the year's winding up right now, and we're kind of looking back at 2024, trying to figure out exactly what happened and how things are going to change in 2025. Well, at CapDirect, we're doing things differently. For example, and I just want to talk to you loan officers and realtors about being a little bit more creative with the products that we have and the marketing that we can offer. For example, we have our one-time close deal. Everybody has it. It's where you can do a 97.5% land acquisition build on a lot in any community on an FHA deal. You can actually do 100% land acquisition and build on that property, that lot, on a VA loan. Did you guys know this? A one-time close with competitive rates. Now, I know in Solano County where I live that there's 86 lots available in between 5 cities, which means realtors who work with me have 86 more possibilities to go ahead and sell a property to some of the buyers that they're trying to find homes for right now. Have you thought about that? Now, the question then becomes, how are you going to build these homes? And maybe the house is too expensive. But of course, on these one-time close deals, you can go in there and put a manufactured house on the property, which is stick-built and just brought over to the lot. And it's going to be less expensive. There's alternatives on the table. Now, how are you going to get these built? Well, I'm going to leave that up to you to figure out, but we've turned that into an actual marketing plan over here at Capital Direct. Another thought about getting creative with our marketing and the products that we have available to us. Everybody wants to do a DSCR loan. Did you know that you could do a DSCR loan with Oaktree up to 8 units? Well, let's think about that for a second. Most properties don't really pencil that are high LTV with a DSCR, do they? But the more units you go up, the better off it gets. So how about this? Why don't we put the cart before the horse? What do I mean by that? Well, when you get a client, what you do is you get the client, or a realtor does, they bring it to you, you pre-qual that client, and then you go search for the house. Why don't we do this? Why don't we get a property, pre-qual the property, and then go search for an investor? And when you're doing multi-unit DSCR loans, these things start to pencil at pretty low LTVs. You know, if I were you, a loan officer, I would go talk to my local real estate agents who have time to lean. They've got time to clean. Tell them to go to their multiple listing system right now, pull every multi-unit complex up, find out what the rent roll is on it, and then you go pre-qual the house and then go find an investor. Well, how are you going to find an investor? Well, that's what you're searching for instead of houses, hence the cart before the horse. Well, all those other Oaktree loans that you're doing, those non-QM loans for those self-employed people who make twice as much money as a W-2 employee, yeah, all of those folks, the small businesses around your community, that's a pretty good starting point. Or you might want to go to your local title and escrow place and ask them to run non-owner occupied properties. And when you see an LLC, that's an investor. Reach out to that investor behind that LLC, and guess what? You just picked up yourself a multi-unit DSCR loan, a happy real estate agent, a new investor. This all works, but we have to reimagine the products and how we use them. You know, non-QM is really kind of interesting to me because there's so many ways to utilize it. Let's say a civil servant can't afford to buy a house in the community that you live, and they can't. I've checked them all. I've flown across this country for the past 15 years. They can't. But how about this? You know how your firefighters have time off, or your teachers have time off? Do they have a side business that they're doing and you can't use that income for qualifying purposes? Is it 1099 or is it bank statement? That's how you have to cash flow it. Well, did you know with Oaktree, you could actually cash flow that second job for that civil servant? So where you're going to get a decline on an A paper deal, your Fannie, Freddie, Jenny stuff, if you took this stuff over to Oaktree, you'll get a competitive rate, and you can go ahead and use that income, and you can simply source it by using bank statements. Now, think about this for a second. I've got somebody who is W-2'd, and I've got somebody who's 1099. Can I go ahead and use both of those incomes? You absolutely can on the same program. Which program do you use? Whoever makes more money. The rates are super, super competitive, and by reimagining how we can calculate our income, it's just going to bring a whole new world of clients to you. And I hope you figure this out by now. All the 3 strategies that I just gave you, I just handed you. This is what we do at CapDirect. I handed them to you. And nobody in the country is doing this because we thought of them. Well, here's the deal. If you haven't figured this out, these are all high net worth people. That means they can actually afford to buy the houses in the communities that you serve and close those deals that you want so desperately. Is this a good strategy for 2025? Would you like to hear more strategies like this? Listen, jump into my ecosystem, people. Fill out the information down below, and let's have a conversation about this. Use those strategies I just gave you, but I'm not going to tell you the real great ones until we have a personal conversation. And as for real estate agents, listen, if you're looking for a creative loan officer to work with who can help you with your marketing and close more deals and get creative with some of these programs with your clients, reach out to us and we'll make sure we get you in touch with a like-minded loan officer who can make this happen for you. For the rest of you, business as usual in 2025, this is not going to work. I mean, I think we can all see the writing on the wall right now. The Federal Reserve's coming out saying they're not doing anything substantial with interest rates. Trump is certainly going to change the economy, but we don't know exactly what that's going to look like. You know, and finally, and the big one is we really don't have builders, new home builders, coming off the fence and building more houses as we see our new housing starts and new housing permits are also significantly down. So what we have to do is look at the products we have and say, can I reimagine this in a way that I haven't looked at it before? And can I use this for marketing purposes? And can I close more deals if I can go ahead and intertwine and integrate some of these non-QM deals into the texture on my canvas and paint a much more beautiful picture for 2025? If you're waiting for people to help you out in 2025, hold your breath, okay? What you need to do is take the bull by the horns, as Sheila Bair once wrote in her great book. Take the bull by the horns and go out there and reimagine your business. Realtors, loan officers, you guys got this in you. But right now, listen, it's already too late for a New Year's resolution. 2025 has started. So I'd imagine that you should start running right about now. I hope this helps, and you guys have an absolutely fantastic day.